We were keeping my participation a secret, and then the other speakers found out that I was participating and they ran away. So no, we're still waiting for the other speakers. And while they run to the ballroom, I have a quiz for you because many of you look like you need either another cup of coffee or a nice nap. But as relates to the topic of this panel, e-commerce growth and digital ads, I have a question, a multiple choice question for you. And I want a show of hands. Those who don't show your hands will be escorted out of the ballroom and out of the hotel, never to come back again. I know I sound like a teacher. I actually spent some time as a teacher. So Alibaba is Asia's biggest e-commerce platform. Raise your hand if you think that's a correct statement. Oh, there's a lot of literacy there. Thank you. You get to stay. And I'll give you a steak dinner too. Alibaba is B, Asia's biggest advertising platform. Raise your hand again, sir. Raise your hand again. Yeah, good. Or Alibaba is C, the name of your favorite Disney movie. You are wrong. That is actually Maleficent Part 2, which came out a few months ago. How wonderful. Our panelists are coming up now. But in any event, my point here, or the answer is, Alibaba is not just Asia's largest e-commerce platform, it is by miles Asia's largest advertising platform. 80% of that company's domestic e-commerce revenues is actually advertising based. If they were not able to sell advertising tools on their platform, they simply wouldn't exist. And as a result, this is why we put the words economic growth and digital ads in the same sentence. And so we have two absolutely wonderful panelists to join me here today to discuss the importance of digital advertising in the growth of this region. They share some similarities to the extent they come from, indeed, very storied backgrounds working both in China and here in Southeast Asia. We have on my immediate right Sherly, who's Vice President of OPPO Advertising for Indonesia, and I gather Anda bisa bicara bahasa Indonesia, ya?
Ya.
Bagus sekali.
Selamat sore.
Bagus sekali. And we also have Felix, who is the Southeast Asia Director for MagicWe Technologies. And I guess I wanted to begin by asking you guys, if we believe that digital advertising is a very important part of the economy here, do we have SMEs and customers who understand the basics of a digital ad? Cheryl, what do you think? 你认为你懂吗？中小企业了不了解怎么用数据广告？ Yeah.
Maybe I first?
Great, sure.
Okay, sorry. Some interpreter, especially was in China, I will read all the questions before, and I think the China market is super different than another country. We don't have Instagram, we don't have Facebook. You know, especially if you just say a lot of a factory, small media factory, maybe a small factory that was working in China to be see the advertisement was in China. We cannot choose in Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. We have our own Facebook, YouTube channel, and Instagram. So if they use that, all the subtitles, writing everything was in Chinese. You might be here, you never tried to use the Chinese software part before, so you will hardly to understand. So how can I use then the Chinese advertisement channels be there? But we have a lucky part, especially just like a successful Chinese company go to overseas, like OPPO, right? Xiaomi and Bigo was a lot of media. software will be here. They use the way just like a Chinese way to be right here. But because the OPPO have a local employee, so they can understand for Indonesia market, so they will use that. The Indonesia market, Indonesia employee to conversation with the Indonesia factory, Chinese employee to conversation with the Chinese factory. So they can understand each, so they definitely can use. So it's work for that part.
Got you.
Thank you.
Cheryl, can you talk about OPPO's advertising budget in Indonesia? How much is online, 线上? How much is offline? And where will that 比重 or proportion go in the future?
Okay, thanks. Your Chinese language is very good.
不敢当, 不敢当.
Okay, hello everyone. I want to introduce about OPPO advertising Indonesia. Actually, OPPO is not only a smartphone company in Indonesia. We also want to explore more opportunities about digital advertising because we now have some. We already have around 40 million users in Indonesia. Based on this user space, we also cooperate with many traditional and internet industries to do the online advertising. So we have several experience cooperate with SMEs. SMEs just like the, maybe I can share some data about the ad spending in Indonesia. Okay, top 3 ad spending in Indonesia should be retails, and the second one is for FMCG. Third one is for travel. So based on this ad spending indicating the 2C industry trend in Indonesia. That's what I want to share to you guys.
Very useful, thank you. I would be keen, Felix, to understand what digital ad trends you expect in 2020 and 2021 from your perspective.
It's a hard question actually. You want to tell me the truth, or you want me just?
I think the audience deserves the truth, Felix.
Yeah. So there's one case. I can share the one data for you, but this is the data might be you never heard that the data before. I touched the China market first because MagicWe is a focus on the China first and go to overseas. Especially for e-commerce part. You can plus JD, you can plus Ali Group, you can plus Pinduoduo, you can plus Wangyi, Yanxuan, whatever. All the e-commerce in China, there's only 25%. Here, Tokopedia, Shopee, JDID, whatever, only 0.5%.
This is the percent of retail that is online?
This is the only percent for the whole economy of country economy. So that means e-commerce only 25%, 25% of the income stream for the economy of China. So whatever on the internet, especially on the advertisements channel, this is the only you can read, but the another 75% you cannot see, right? So the biggest market is not only with the online. Whatever you're doing the advertisement with the online, yes, it works, but it's not works. You never see the Ali Group will tell you, especially, can I say his name? The founder of the Alibaba, right? I cannot say that name in public place. He was always tell that anybody was be some successful samples, but maybe this only 10% people was surviving in that ecosystem. Where's the rest of 19%? You didn't see. You only see some successful. You didn't see some failed one. So always in Chinese word, you have pretty good Chinese. I'm not sure you understand my Chinese word for this sentence. 一将功成万骨枯.
一点都不懂.
Okay, that means 10 people die, 1 people survive. That's some similar means like that. So you always see some successful sample, but in the other hand, you should be find out why the other 9 people was a failure, especially in this question. I think I cannot talk too much because some people might be real upset for that, right?
Okay, understood. I want to talk about the young generation in Indonesia. Almost all of them have an OPPO phone or a smartphone. Cheryl, when you think about advertising or reaching young people, do you have a different strategy than for your older customers?
Okay, actually, for Indonesia, as we know, Indonesia have a very huge population, youngsters. So for these people, what we can do, and actually, first one, we can see the big potential for this youngster. And if from our advertising company, we can see the internet users. Internet users is our very big audience. Very big audience. How many percentages of these young internet users, based on our internet users, is around 75% is 18 to 35 years old, and above 35 years old is around 20%. This is for our internet users, OPPO internet users. So from this data, we can see young people, they are very interested in new things, and they can learn something very quickly. So actually, I'm more positive. I'm more positive than you for 2020. So for the 2020 trend, first, I think more SME will go digital based on our experience and our ad spending, our cooperation. The second, for internet industries, e-commerce, OTA, and transportation, lifestyle company will increase very fast in 2020. Thank you.
Wow, that's super important to us as early stage investors at Alpha JWC to hear that you have confidence that SMEs will become more and more comfortable with digital ads. I used to surprise people when I was studying the Chinese market that Baidu, which everyone knows is the Google of China, their largest headcount was in offline sales. So they were going from door to door, teaching one SME after another how to use a keyword, which kind of you don't think about that naturally. You're selling a virtual item, but you have to educate people offline. Which leads me to another question, which is, China has delivered so many new business models to the internet world over the past 10 years, and one of them is the KOL, the key opinion leader. Is the KOL going to be a very effective channel of advertising in Indonesia like it has been in China?
You must be heard about the name is called Li Jiaqi, right? Austin Lee, he can sell the lipsticks, especially in W11 for 1 hour, 100 million Chinese yuan, 200 million Chinese yuan. That is, I don't know how much in rupiahs. So KOL, what is working for the China is working, but you're asking us to be working here, right? It's how to say. As I say, as a conversation before, China is kind of a Pacific market because we don't have an Instagram, YouTube channel. KOL actually is from YouTube channel. It's not from the Chinese actually. So basically, if you be here, we have lots of KOL in Indonesia as well. They share their lifestyle on Instagram. They share the lifestyle, especially for some of the video vlogger was in YouTube channel. It works, and the people watching the YouTube channel videos, they can trust their, for example, what did they choose in the products. In China, we use the soft promotion. In Indonesia, I have seen a lot of advertisement, especially, for example, the LED outside of a shopping mall. We don't have so much stuff that in China anymore. Chinese consumers usually want to hear about stories. What is stories about your branding? What is way your stuff? And Some products you can totally exactly change before and after. This is what they watching now. So I think in the future, the lot of branding was doing the advertisement, they should be good to that direction. Just let the consumer know what's up before, what's after. Lipsticks, red and yellow, I don't know, so I'm not a girl, so, you know.
Looking forward to seeing Felix wearing yellow lipstick. Now, I'm pretty sure we've been robbed of time, but we have just a couple minutes, and I wanted to make sure if any of you in the audience had any questions, you could answer, or you could ask them of our two panelists. Are there any questions out there? Yeah, we have a question up here on the left. Could you keep your hand up?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I just want to ask maybe a funny question. Are you believe luck in your when you running the business? Are you believe with luck? Because someone sometimes is not luck to running the business. Some other are luck to running the business. Or are you using feng shui to grow up your business?
Sorry,
Thank
using
you.
what?
Feng shui. Is this Chinese?
Oh, feng shui.
No. Don't trust something on internet. We don't use that feng shui to do a lot of business. You know, you must be watching a lot of movie to do that, right? Especially you watch the Hong Kong movie.
So you think there is no art, it's all science succeeding in digital advertising?
Feng shui.
No. Well, I'm changing the question a little bit,
sorry.
not feng shui or mixin, but we talk about success in business as being part science and part art or soft skills. And succeeding in Indonesia, are you going to succeed by being completely scientific, or is there a lot of creativity you need in advertising? 明白吗？
明白吗？
没有，我说，如果你要在印尼成功的话，可以说，运气或者对，运气应该占多少，然后策略还有什么 hard skills 占多少？
How do you think you get doing business if you get a luck in China? How percentage of the luck you doing the marketing in China?
Well, as a Lao Wai, as a Westerner, it's 120% luck, and I can't get that luck. So
I think there's 0% of the luck for do any business. You must know what is the market needs.
yeah,
What's the consumer Indonesia people like? What's the Jakarta people need like? What's the mainland people like? What's the different culture between the Bali Island to be Jakarta? You must understand that. When you prepare everything, you see, I'm successful because of luck.
right.
But now means you're just waiting for luck. You cannot waiting for luck because there's no luck exists after you do that.
Totally agree. At least we should trust on this. Try our best to do the things, not depends on the lucky, right?
I mean, I think I would say in closing, one of the most impressive aspects I see of the Chinese entrepreneurs who come into the region, not only do they spend a lot of time understanding the local context, those who don't understand it generally fail, but the work schedules are intense. It seems like a lot of the entrepreneurs bring their, Jojo Liu to Southeast Asia, and I think that is indeed very important. In any event, we obviously wish you guys all the best. Thank you so much for the time you've volunteered to come up before us.
Thank you.
Also want to thank Wild Digital and
you.
TechNode for what has been a fantastically curated event. I hope you guys all have a great rest of the weekend. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks.
Thank you.